What's up YouTube, Trashy here, back with another late game Stardew Valley guide. Over the last couple of Stardew Valley videos, we have talked a lot about Ginger Island, what you can do there, and Key's Walnut Room. But today, we're going to do something a little different. A fair few of you were interested in seeing a full rundown on how to find all 130 golden walnuts hidden on Ginger Island, so that is exactly what we are going to do today. I feel like this goes without saying, but this video is going to contain spoilers, specifically 130 of them, so definitely watch at your own discretion, you have been warned. Also, a reminder that there is no wrong way to play Stardew Valley as long as you're having fun. And if the way that you have fun is to watch somebody tell you how to find all 130 golden walnuts on Ginger Island, then you are in the right place. Now, before we get right into it, there are a few things that you should keep in mind. There is a parrot in Leo's hut that will give you one hint a day for the location of most golden walnuts, 123 to be exact. But don't worry, I will put a note on the screen every time we come across a golden walnut that doesn't have a hint. You need these golden walnuts to unlock different locations and features of the island, and in my opinion there is a more efficient and effective way to spend them in order to get access to the rest of the island and thus more walnuts. If you focus on unlocking the farmhouse as soon as you can, which can be as early as day 1 on the island, you then gain access to repairing the beach resort and the island trader, two key locations that you will need to get more walnuts. But before we get ahead of ourselves, if you're planning on heading to Ginger Island and staying there for as long as you need to find all 130 walnuts the first time that you go, you will need to prepare a few things in your inventory as well as make sure that your animals have plenty of hay with upgraded coops and barns for automatic feeding and a radiator if it's winter. In fact, the best time to do this is probably in the winter because you'll have less things to tend to at your farm and you won't have to worry about crops other than what's in your greenhouse. Before you head over there, you'll want to make sure that you have a few things on you. Make sure to pack all of your tools, including your watering can, fishing rod with bait, preferred weapon, as well as a good stack of food, some coffee to get around quickly if you want, at least one bomb, but more would be better, a slingshot, a good stack of the easiest, quickest growing single harvest seeds that you can get, enough sprinklers for the seeds, a chest or two, a farm warp totem in case you need a quick escape, a melon seed, a wheat seed, a garlic seed, and some speed grow if you have it. You'll also want to bring 5 flute blocks for a specific puzzle, which you unlock the recipe for from Robin's 6 Heart event. 3 or 4 rain totems might also come in handy, and of course bring your preferred rings for extra protection and buffs in the volcano. Now I know this sounds like a very convoluted specific list, but everything will make sense as you watch the video. Now let's get into the locations of all 130 walnuts from the moment you first step on the island. My goal on the first day is usually to get enough walnuts to unlock the farmhouse, so let's get to it. First, there are a few walnuts that don't really fit into any categories and can technically be found at any time, so let's get them out of the way. You can find coconut trees scattered around the island, and shaking them sometimes drops golden coconuts. The very first one of these coconuts that you crack open at Clint's will always have a golden walnut in it. Now, you cannot open these with a geode crusher, so you will have to go back to the actual valley to get it opened. You can also find 5 golden walnuts from fishing anywhere on the island. It is a 15% chance each time that you cast your rod, so it might take a while, but you could in theory just grab them all as soon as you land on the island. However, I recommend grabbing them later and getting straight to finding the ones hidden around the island first. If you head east from the beach into the forest, you will find your first golden walnut just sitting in this bush right here. Also, don't miss the tent kits that are sitting off to the right. If you continue up, you will find a secret passage off to the right and you will find another golden walnut hidden here. There's a puzzle here, but we'll talk about that in a bit. Don't worry about it yet. You can find another golden walnut just sitting in this tree inside Leo's hut. And while you're here, you might as well give the parrot a golden walnut to open up the north side of the island. Once you gain access to the north side of the island, you will really start finding walnuts. So you'll find one in this circle of stones here, and then if you follow the hidden passage underneath the bushes, you can find another in this corner. Going back to the main area, if you dig in this spot between the grass, you can find another golden walnut, and if you go underneath this tree, you will come down to the ledge at the beach and you can find yet another. You can find one in this patch here, one in this patch of dirt up here, another hidden behind this tree, one in this circle of stones, one by taking out your slingshot and aiming it at this tree here, and if you go over to the other side of the volcano entrance, you can find one chilling beside the golden parrot. Follow this little path hidden among the trees here. It's a little bit awkward to get through at first, and you will find yet another golden walnut at the end. This next one requires using your watering can to get out to the left exit of the volcano and getting these 2 walnuts sitting on the ledge here. At this stage, you should have enough golden walnuts to pay off this parrot and gain access to the west side of the island. The west side of the island contains many golden walnuts, but you can start by going to the beach and mining up these mussel nodes. These nodes contain a total of 5 golden walnuts, so make sure to come back every day to check them. There's one golden walnut hidden in the debris here, and if you go straight down from here and into this shipwreck, you can find another golden walnut chilling in a bush. Use your upgraded watering can to get rid of this little mole, or place things over the other holes and hit him with your pickaxe. And then straight up from there, you will find another golden walnut among these starfish. The X marks the spot is obviously a place for another golden walnut, and there's another one among these weird indents in the sand. You can find another golden walnut in this bush beside the pond, one right beside Key's door, and another one up to the left of it. Keep in mind that this walnut is bugged and can fly off the screen. If you kill all 5 tiger slimes that are in the tiger grove to the right of Key's walnut room, you will get a golden walnut, as well as this one chilling in a bush and another one hidden among these patches of grass. You can find another couple of golden walnuts hidden here, one around this ledge and one up around the top. And north from the bridge there is a Simon Says game where you basically have to repeat a musical pattern that you are given until eventually you get it right. I struggled a little bit here, and you get given 3 golden walnuts for your troubles. Continue right across the bridge to find one hidden among these flowers, and you can't really see it well at night, but there is a secret passage marked by some grass here that you will find a golden walnut at the end of. There's one more chilling on the ledge behind the farmhouse, and now you should have enough golden walnuts to unlock the farmhouse. If you did this all in one day and you still have time and energy left, you can use it to fish up some walnuts or clear out some space on your farm and start planting the seeds you brought, including the melon, wheat, and garlic. If you don't have time, definitely clear out a spot and plant everything the next morning. The reason that we're doing this is because you can get 5 golden walnuts from harvesting single crops, and once you unlock the farmhouse, a friendly frog chef appears in the cave to the northeast and gives you a riddle. The riddles are pretty easy to work out, and once you know what he wants, he will ask to see a melon, then wheat, and then garlic growing on your farm. But he will give you 5 golden walnuts per request, so if you plant them straight away, you can basically get all of these within days. With the west side of the island unlocked, you can start working towards the puzzle in the East Forest area. The plaque here basically says find the gem birds on rainy days and place the gem that they drop in the corresponding part of the altar in here. During rainy days, keep an eye out for birds and their gems. Like we mentioned in the Ginger Island tips and tricks video, you only actually need to know 2 of these gems to complete the puzzle. The 5 possible gems dropped are amethyst, aquamarine, emerald, ruby, or topaz, but you don't have to have found them to place them. If you know 2 of the gems, you can simply play around with placing and removing the other gems until you get it right, and you will get 5 golden walnuts for your troubles. And before we move on, if you go to the far west coast, you will find Birdie, and she will give you a quest to retrieve a keepsake of her husband's. She gives you a war memento, and you have to work out who to give it to. It doesn't take much to work out that the war memento goes to Kent, who gives you gourmet tomato salt, which obviously goes to the town cook, Gus. Gus will then give you a Stardew Valley rose, which you can try to give to Emily, who loves flowers, who then directs you to Sandy. Fun fact, there are actually multiple dialogues that you can get from different NPCs if you attempt to give them the wrong item in this situation. Sandy then gives you an advanced TV remote, which obviously goes to George, who spends all day in front of the TV, and George gives you an Arctic shard. Bring the Arctic shard to the wizard, who will give you a wriggling worm, which obviously goes to Willy, and Willy finally gives you the pirate's locket, which you then have to give to Birdie. When you eventually return to the island and you give the locket back to Birdie, she will be eternally grateful, and she will gift you with the recipe for fairy dust, as well as the usual 5 golden walnuts. Now let's talk about all the golden walnuts you can find in the volcano. With no elevator system, it can be tricky to get to the top if you don't start early in the morning. One downside to the volcano is that you can't just exit via a ladder, you have to make your way back out by either going backwards, unlocking the shortcut on level 5, or going all the way to the top where you can take a shortcut back down and out. This is where the warp totem can come in handy. If you're overwhelmed by enemies and don't have a phoenix ring, you can use the totem to get back to safety if you don't want to lose items. Sure, you'll have to make your way back to the island, but that's better than losing a galaxy sword, and I don't mind getting stuck here and passing out at 2 AM because at this stage I usually have enough gold that it doesn't matter. You can find a total of 5 golden walnuts by breaking open rocks in the volcano, another 5 golden walnuts by slaying enemies in the volcano, 5 golden walnuts by breaking open metal crates, 1 golden walnut in normal chests and another golden walnut in rare chests, and then 2 sitting at the top of the volcano in bushes. I usually go back to the volcano a few days in a row to keep getting all of the golden walnuts, especially if I haven't unlocked the forge at the top yet. You can actually use a tent outside the volcano to wake up right then and there and get a super early start and make the most of your day. With at least 10 golden walnuts, you can unlock either the dig site or the island trader, and if you hold that for 20, which you should have if you grind the volcano for a couple of days, you can unlock the island resort. I prefer to unlock the resort first as it gives you access to a bunch more golden walnuts. Once you have the resort, you gain access to the southeast area over here. You can find one starfish just chilling in this pond right here if you fish. Then you can find another in this crisscross of yellow starfish over here using your hoe. And if you come here on rainy days, you will find a mermaid puzzle. Now this is what those 5 flute blocks were for. You'll need to place them on these stones here and click them the amount of times corresponding to the stones. Small stones mean 1 click and big stones mean 5 clicks. You can find a secret note explaining how to do this, but you can also do it without finding the secret note, so it doesn't really matter if you found it or not. Once you get all of the notes right, go back to the start and walk across them to play the melody, and you will be rewarded with 5 golden walnuts. If you come back to this cave on non-rainy and even days, after 8 PM the area comes alive and becomes a true pirate cove with all sorts of activity. You can talk to this gentleman over here to play 3 games of darts to win up to 3 golden walnuts. It's a pretty simple game. You have a yellow circle on the screen. It will move around on its own, so just position it around the middle and wait for it to hover over the bullseye and you will eventually get where you need to go. You have to do it in less and less throws each time, but you can get yourself 3 golden walnuts by doing this. If you go down to the bottom of the cave, you can find another golden walnut sitting in this patch of soil here. Once you have another 10 golden walnuts, you should unlock either the dig site or the island trader. I prefer to unlock the dig site because it gives you access to the island field office. Before addressing the person yelling for help in the cave, go up the stairs and dig up a golden walnut in this circle of stones. Then cross the bridge to the left to find another walnut sitting on the ledge. If you go back across the bridge, there is a secret tunnel underground here. You can go across it, cross the bridge to find yourself another 2 golden walnuts. Now this is where that bomb that we brought comes in handy. You can explode the entrance to the cave and out pops Professor Snail. Once freed, Professor Snail goes back to the island field office, where you can start donating bones and answering questions to get your hands on extra walnuts. These bones can be found in specific locations across the island, so let's list them. The large animal requires 2 fossilized legs found by breaking bone nodes at the dig site, 1 fossilized rib found in artifact spots in the south part of the island and very rarely in bone nodes, a fossilized skull which can be found by cracking open golden coconuts, a spine from fishing in the dig site river, and a tail from panning in the dig site river. As a reward, you'll get 6 golden walnuts plus a banana sapling. You'll want to plant this as soon as possible, and we'll talk about why in a second. The snake requires a skull, which can be found in the artifact spot on the west, in the dig site, or by fishing on the west side of the island, and 2 snake vertebrae, which have the highest chance to appear in artifact spots on the west side of the island. Once completed, you'll get 3 golden walnuts and a mango sapling. The mummified bat is found by breaking rocks in the dungeon, and the mummified frog is found by cutting down weeds in the jungle area to the east, and each of them give 1 golden walnut each. You can answer a couple of questions at the notice board at the back of the tent. How many purple flowers are there on the island? Now you can take your time to look for these, or you can just put in 22 because that's how many there are. And how many purple starfish are there on the island? The answer to this one is of course 18. Now you can take your time to look for these, but if you're watching a guide, I'm assuming it's because you want me to tell you. Of course, you get 1 more golden walnut for solving each of these, and when you complete the entire field office, you get the recipe for the ostrich incubator. For another 10 golden walnuts, you can unlock the island trader, and if you have the dig site and the resort, you will now have unlocked all of the available outdoor areas. You might even have found a total of 100 walnuts and by now be able to access Mr. Key's walnut room. At the island trader, you can buy banana saplings for 5 dragon teeth, which you can find lying around the volcano near bones and by slaying lava lurks. The reason you want to get your hands on a banana sapling and plant it as soon as possible is because it's required for golden walnuts. You can also find banana saplings in golden coconuts by completing the large animal field office quest like we just mentioned, and from blue discus ponds. Once you get your hands on a banana, you can give it to this gorilla in the East Forest area in return for 3 golden walnuts. Lastly, on your adventure around the island, you probably found a bunch of journal scraps. These will lead you to hidden golden walnuts, and you have to have found the note in order to find the walnut. If you dig without the note, you'll find nothing. Journal scrap 10 points to this area in the north, where you can also dig up an ostrich egg. Make sure to put this in your incubator. Journal scrap 6 points to this area in the west. And last but not least, journal scrap 4 points to this area in the west below Key's walnut room. And if my math is correct, which it should be, that is the exact location of all 130 walnuts on Ginger Island. The order that you do them in is up to you. This is just my preferred order. I like to unlock the farmhouse first for access to the parrots that unlock the resort and the trader, and then I like to get my crops down as soon as possible to capitalize on the golden walnuts that you get from harvesting and the frog over the next week or so. In between walnut hunting and waiting for rain to get the gems and the mermaid quest, if I don't have rain totems obviously, I like to fish for the 5 golden walnuts found when fishing, and I'll take the downtime while waiting to go and do Birdie's quest and crack open golden coconuts for the walnut and the fossil. And that's about it for this video. If it was helpful and or you enjoyed it at all, please consider subscribing if you're not and letting me know what you thought in the comments below. And if you want to catch me outside of YouTube, you can follow me over on Twitch at TrashMarble. I go live a few times a week and I stream a bunch of different games. And you can also follow me on bluesky if you want to know when I'm live. I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you for existing. And yeah, appreciate you. Bye.